Good with y'all? It's Prince Bonzi in the building tonight. It's 1 a.m., so I'm gonna be a little bit quiet. About everyone's asleep in the house. But I wanted to get this out to y'all because I wrote a really nice journal. It's about sense of self. Um, this is dated to July 20th, 2026. Bright and early at 1 a.m. So let's get it started. What is self? It is all which encompasses the being of one. Identity, unconscious desires, alterable destiny, disposition, or personas relate to my sense of self. I look around the world and I see myself in everything: water, flies, wood, social interaction. The world around me is all like me within some relation. For example, the mourning dove which crows in the morning longing for its biological purpose. When I awake, my desire for my purpose floods my mind before everything the world has to offer comes to my senses. The difference between the mourning dove and I is my purpose is beyond the central dogma of survival, reproduction, and death. My purpose encompasses goals and aspirations which arise from human imposed realities that encapsulate our society. My purpose also, however, comes beyond my knowledge and sits in the superphysical, an area only attainable with a connection to my higher self. This individual is a part of me, but gets shunned for my physical presence oftentimes. This world is catered towards allowing one to remain disconnected from their higher self. Social media keeps your mind in the physical. News and general media keeps your attention away from your sense of self. And sadly, even the people around you will even block you from attaining your higher self via unintentional actions to bring your frequency to a lower state. It's a mode of survival and self-preservation meant to keep those from reaching their higher mind and keep them in a more linear way of thinking. However, there comes a point where one realizes the effects of the external have nothing to do with your internal. And your internal thoughts do not have to keep you at a lower state. It all starts within yourself. What are you feeling? Can it be described without limiting language? For example, there's a difference between being upset from someone crossing you and using your sense of self to attribute growth within your mind. If you're like me, then you take this person crossing you as a sign of happiness, that you do not have to be this person who has to cross another. Another may feel a sense of controlled curiosity to why a person crossed them and laugh at these brief scenarios. This begs the question, how do I know myself? Through trial and error and discovery, through thought, prayer, and action. You know yourself by letting your mind go and letting your innate conscious rule over your ego. Allow your spirit to modulate your thoughts and your actions and let go of the obsession of trying to stay out of the depressed zone of comfort. Allowing your subconscious to depict your reality and environment while you hold on to this spirit modulation. What you will find is that you are operating true to yourself and devoid of earthly indignations towards useless modalities that take away your sense of self. You become more aligned within your purpose and you feel less inclined to reach outside of it. The words that come out of your mouth are more authentic and your thoughts and actions are more genuine. God bless those who are in the midst of discovering themselves, for you are the only one who can see our spirit. Help us align ourselves within the spirit and rely on its guide as we walk blindly. Okay. Let me explain to y'all the depressed zone of comfort. The depressed zone of comfort is that state you get when you feel comfortable within negativity. When you get depressed and all of a sudden you get addicted to feeling depressed. When you feel anxious and all of a sudden anxious is your default state of mind. That's what you go to as a sense of comfort, even if it's an uncomfortable feeling. We get stuck in these zones of thinking whenever we leave our spirit, when we leave our mind, when we leave who our sense of self is, not our mind, but ourself. When we leave ourselves, that's when we find comfort within other modalities. But your biggest comfort should arise from yourself. You are your person. You're the only person who can save you. Everyone else around you, everything that they say or do to alter your reality, or you may think that it saves you or helps you, these are all just reflections within yourself when you really think about it. The only reason why you're able to conceptualize the things that people are telling you is because internally you've already processed these thoughts. It's just in the back of your mind. It's in a reserves, it's somewhere deep in your files, and your brain's unable to reach it. It's just really simple for us whenever we have it pinpointed out, but at the end of the day, everything that makes sense to you was thought about at some point and was stored into your memory. That's how powerful your brain is. Like, we understand so many things, but we're so limited in knowledge. But at this point in reality, I think it's just important to realize that your knowledge only matters so much in the physical sense. But if you're unable to reach your sense of self, then you will never attain your higher self. If you can't ever attain your higher self, then it's okay. I mean, you can continue to live your life the way you do and walk around aimlessly, or maybe it just wasn't meant for you to reach that higher purpose. To be honest with you, I don't think it's meant for a lot of people. I don't think it's meant for a lot of people, because I walk around this world and some people are just walking with their blinders on, and there's nothing you can do to take them off. And I think that's the majority of the world, and I think that's okay too. I don't think everyone needs to have a higher purpose. I don't think that the higher beings are meant for everyone, but I also think that it's possible for everyone to achieve to a certain degree. It's possible for anyone to achieve on paper, but with the lives that people are given, it's obviously destined for some individuals to never reach that sense of higher self. And that's okay. I'm gonna leave y'all with one question. Who are you? Who am I? Who am I? Me personally, I'm a prince. I'm a prince, and I'm upgraded to a king. So I know one day I'm gonna rule over people. And that's not something that I manifest. That's just who I am. I understand that I may not rule people like, feudal era type of things, but I'm gonna have multiple lives in my hands at some point in my life. And how does that make me feel? It just makes me feel like myself. Makes me feel like I'm tapped into who I'm supposed to be, Who am I? Who are you? I'm a beautiful human, inside and out. I mean, I do ugly things, obviously, like everyone does, but I'm beautiful, man. Are you beautiful? Not to today's standards, but are you beautiful? When you walk by in nature, do animals look up at you? When you're walking down the street, babies stare at you? Do you embody a person with a beautiful soul inside and out? Or is that just a front you put on? I ask myself that question a lot. I used to think that it was just a front. I used to think that intrinsically I was an evil person and there was nothing I could do about it. But I realized that my attributions of my personality towards evil were the only things that made me evil. Me calling myself evil and saying the things that I did were poor and evil in itself is what made it evil. But when I take a step back and I realize these are just attributions, they're not reality, I could walk a little bit freer. To whose knowledge and to what extent are things attributions and to what extent are things reality? It's up to you. It's up to your sense of self, right? At the end of the day, you only really understand your perspective of the world is your reality. And I think it's very common knowledge to say that your perception is a reality. So what's the point of debating? Because these debates and this contention between what's real and what's fake, what's your sense of self and what's what was given to you from the environment, all these different dualities just keeps away from your higher self. Think about this. Every moment that you spend away from your higher self is a minute that you could have got older within your spiritual age. It's more wise you could have been. It's more calm you could have gotten. It's closer to who you were. And each minute that you choose to spend out of that is just a minute that you choose to, I hate to say waste your life, but it's to waste your physical life, man. No matter how you believe you got on this earth, you were gifted the ability to live out this life where you're able to create realities. We're man. We are man. We went out and conquered the world and made it into ourselves. And now we walk around this earth like it's no big deal. What? We conquered the globe, man. Y'all think we just conquered the globe because we were just better, man. Yeah, no, we just evolved cooler. Let me not get too much into it, man, but all I'm gonna say is learn your sense of self, man. It's important. It's what allows you to really fully envelop yourself in this world, is when you find your true self. Because when you're walking around this world like you're not your true self, you're not even experiencing the world for how it should be, to be honest. You're putting on certain fronts for individuals who, shoot, to all your knowledge, man, who says that they're real? I hate to be blunt, but like, let's just be blunt. If your perception is your only reality, to who is to say that? Who's to say that these folks are real, man? All you know is that you and your experience in life is real. Maybe that's a little esoteric. I didn't say it wrong. I said absolutely correct. I did say it absolutely correct. It's important that we realize that everything that you think of, and every way that you think that this world works, bro, it's not guaranteed, man. How is it guaranteed? How is everything that you thought of, all the theories, right? To who is to say that it is guaranteed? How many movies have you watched where reality bends in an instant? You ever think about that? What if reality just bent in an instant? What if we were able to look and see into what this world really was, or what this world really is, what this world will really be? Do you think you'd view your life the same way? Or do you think that you'd make it your own reality if you realized you had the ability to do so? All right, guys. God bless you, man. I've been praying for y'all, man. To be honest, I haven't. I ain't even gonna lie. I haven't been praying for y'all, bro. Maybe I should, though. I think I should. I think y'all need it, to be honest with you, man. Shoot, I know I need it, man. I'm always needing my prayers. But I'm gonna keep y'all in my prayers tonight. I'm gonna pray for you. Whoever watching this, I'm gonna pray that you can find your sense of self. I can pray that you will find your sense of self. And that you realize how futile worrying about certain aspects of this world is. I say all this and then I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and the first day and that's gonna be on my mind is something that stressed me out. Absolutely, it will be. I could tell y'all for sure, man. I'm not gonna sit here and act high and mighty, man. I've been plagued by this world, man. I've been plagued. But what I do know is that the minute that I get within my faculties, it doesn't matter. God bless y'all.